Hello and welcome to the Fourshade Studios podcast. I'm Devin Devon. This is Blake Bonehammer next to me. And we also have Brock Ferguson. And Poe is in the background making angry, huffing noises.
You gonna be on camera?
Come here, Poe. Oh, here he comes, our bouncing baby boy. He's very angry. We're not paying attention to him. Anyway, welcome to the podcast. We're on episode 12 now. What's going on?
Still listening to Baby Poe.
True.
And just like Baby Poe, there are a bunch of baby games coming out for Switch.
That's so true, Brock.
Little babies.
What are these little babies coming out?
Pretty soon, actually. We've got a lot of games coming out according to the Nindies Showcase that happened a week ago or so.
Nice.
Like 15 different games or something. I don't know. Some pretty big amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all coming out spring, summer, and fall this year.
So we just want to launch right into them?
Yeah, let's just hop into them.
We can do the smaller stuff at the end. It's fine. Cool. Well, obviously the first big one that was shown was Cuphead. Are you guys excited? I'm really excited. I think it looks great.
Brock, why don't you talk about it a little bit since you have played it and we haven't?
Yeah, so Cuphead is one of the few games that I absolutely hate the concept of, but played through all the way and loved it because it was executed so well. And for that reason, I can't be more excited that it's coming to Switch and that so many more people are going to get to play it.
Why do you say you hate the concept of it?
Just getting there. Give me a second. Just a monologue. 5 minutes. So the game itself is a bullet hell platformer. So everything's based on precise movement, and you should expect to die thousands of times as you get through the game. There aren't very many checkpoints, only one checkpoint per level, so you have to replay parts of the game over and over and over. And honestly, parts of it are pretty much unfair, right? It seems almost impossible to beat. But the thing about it is it's not, and the more you retry a level, the more you realize it's not, and you keep learning until it becomes doable, and then your 100th time through a level, you'll get lucky and you beat it. That feeling is amazing, and that's why I like this so much. It gives you just that slight opening that allows you to think this is possible, and eventually you can and will beat it. And that because of that, you just want to keep going. You want to keep playing the game, and with me, I eventually finished it, even though, man, was it frustrating.
Would you recommend someone playing it like for the first time co-op or single player?
So I played the whole thing co-op, and I guess that was another reason I really loved the game, because the way co-op works is you've got two people on screen, and when you die, you turn into a ghost that slowly floats up to the top of the screen, and then your partner is able to party on you before you hit the top of the screen, basically jump on you. You come back to life. So it truly is co-op in that as long as you don't both die at the same time, you can keep going. So there's kind of some strategy in that one person wants to play it safe while the other does the risky things.
Right.
And vice versa, you switch off. So you can at least keep one person alive if you keep saving each other.
Okay.
Plus, there's just the fact that when you die and the game becomes too much, you have someone else to yell at the TV with you.
So, like, if you're doing co-op, can you revive each other unlimited times?
Unlimited times.
if you are doing then single player, do you have a set number of lives then? Is there some sort of trade-off there?
I'm pretty sure you get hit by something, you die.
Okay. So yeah, it sounds like, I don't know, co-op is almost the way to go if it's going to be as difficult as you say.
I mean, I was playing with a pretty adept game player, and we still had problems. And I'd say we finished levels like 50-50 who actually got through the whole level. So,
Right.
yeah, I think co-op's the way to go just because it's so well implemented in space. I think co-op's pretty much more fun in almost any game if it's done right.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, like to me, I haven't played it yet. I've been wanting to play it ever since it came out originally for the Xbox, but just the art style is what gets me the most. It's like and the music, I guess. It's just like that 30s cartoon style and like jazz. It's just like awesome. Like
it's really cool looking.
It's old school cartoon look. Like there's probably other games that are kind of in that same art style, but nothing like as huge as this.
Yeah, that's actually how I got roped into the game. I didn't know anything about it, but it was started up by my friend, and I saw the title screen, and I said I wanted to play this.
Yeah.
Because the 1930s cartoon aesthetic is just done perfectly. Everything is exactly as you'd expect it to be, and it looks beautiful and it looks very unique.
Well, it's like even like just the small attention to detail that they do is like the dust on the lens or whatever look.
Yeah.
Or like the lines that are going across the screen to give it like that old timey look.
Yeah.
Just like that old style filter. Like the game would look awesome even if it didn't have that, but like gives it that much more of like a little just nice little touch.
I don't know how much you've seen about the making of the game, but like their dedication to the style and how it's created basically almost doomed the game because they were 100% accurate in reproducing the style in that all of the animations were hand drawn.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the game took so long and why the DLC is taking so long to create because it's literally done as it would be done in the 30s, aside from the coloring being done by computers.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't realize that, but
that's insane.
That like makes it even that much more like authentic.
But it comes across as authentic. You didn't realize that's how they did it, but that's part of the reason why this looks authentic.
Right. Well, yeah, that is super cool. And like it's super exciting that it's coming out so quick. I feel like a lot of these titles that were released in the Nindies Showcase are like basically right around the corner. We're not going to have to wait that long for them. Like Cuphead, it's April 18th, which as of recording is like in 2.5 weeks. So super, super quick.
Yeah, I think they're trying to fill the gap before Nintendo themselves takes the reins and releases a bunch of cool games.
That's true. It's like we have like this little spring and summer like lull period filled with indies, and then like E3 is going to hit, and then it's going to be like fall's always crazy for releases. So, and we've already talked about a bunch of releases coming up anyway in the fall. So,
right.
I feel like the Switch has got some pretty good traction going with like their game lineup.
They've definitely been keeping it going, keeping something out there.
It scared me like the first year Switch was out because everyone was just like, oh, it's just like the Zelda machine, you know? It's got Zelda and I can't even remember really what else it had, Mario Kart or something.
Mario Kart, yeah.
But yeah, definitely cool that we're still basically filling out the library.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping I guess, that Nintendo sticks to their original proclamation that the Switch is going to have a ridiculous 7-year life cycle.
Right.
I don't think it's going to happen, but if it does, I would not complain because having such a huge collection of good games on one system is always a good thing.
Right. Well, it's like, to me, the Switch still feels new. Like, it was kind of crazy to me when I heard it's like been out 2 years now. Like, it seems like it just came out.
Yeah, I think that's a compliment to just the design of the thing, right? Like the Wii U gamepad and the Wii U was outdated about 2 days before it was released.
Right.
And the Switch still looks like a modern device, and it plays like a modern device, and yeah, that's why it still seems new.
Well, and especially if we're gonna be getting the rumored like new Switch or whatever it's gonna be called, Switch Pro, whatever. I feel like that will even add more to its lifespan, hopefully.
Oh yeah, definitely. I have some worries around that, but
well, like what?
Another time.
No, what are
they?
concerns?
I just hope they don't fraction, I guess, the user base. So if my Switch cannot play games because I bought it on launch day, but the Switch Pro can, I will be just a teensy bit a lot annoyed.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's rumored, but like from everything that I've heard, the like more deluxe edition, the Switch Pro edition, they said it's gonna just it's not gonna be the same way that like the PS4 or Xbox versions were. What I've heard is like they might reduce the bezel size around the screen and like give it better battery life and things like that, not necessarily like, I don't know, kind of like the jump from the 3DS to like the new 3DS where like you actually couldn't play games between it. So
right.
But yeah, I mean,
I think that's full discussion for another time once we have more rumors.
Yeah, I mean, we're speculating on something that's not even released, so or announced. I mean, so.
Yeah. Stay tuned to episode 25.
Yeah, we'll get there sometime.
So yeah, anything else about Cuphead?
Not really, other than I'm just like counting down the days until it comes out.
Yeah, and I think the DLC is going to come out pretty soon afterwards.
Right.
So I'm counting for that.
Yeah.
To get back into it.
So the next game that got shown off was called Overland. Again, this is all, we're going to go through all basically the games that were in the Nindies Showcase for 2019 spring. This was kind of a weird one. It's like this kind of isometric, into the world survival type game, where you're just, it's like they described it as like a road trip across the U.S. where you're like fighting zombies and like just surviving really, and then it has like kind of roguelike elements to it. The story's not always the same every time you play. It's like things are randomly generated, so that will at least keep it interesting. What were you guys' thoughts about this?
I thought it looked fine. I'm always down for like survival games and like having to care for yourself.
if, I mean, it's just going to be, we're going to have to see how it kind of plays. It's like,
our internet is so horrible.
are we back?
Hi.
Hey.
Oh my god.
How long were we gone?
Just enough to talk about Overland, but I have nothing to say about that game, so that's perfect.
Well, I don't know. I was just saying that from the maps we saw, the maps look fairly small. I don't know if that will be a big issue or not. And they also seem tile-based, so it's like my fear is that the maps will just seem too tiny for like this kind of big open zombie apocalypse world they're trying to create. So I don't know. We'll see.
I assume you're assuming the end of the maps is like where the isometric tile or square kind of cuts off, right?
That's what I'm assuming. I mean, it could be like a fog of war type thing, where as you move closer, like things get revealed. But I just don't think it will be like that. I feel like they're just trying to make these tiny little maps to kind of like puzzle solve a little bit.
Yeah.
Like how, like, you know, the fighting style in the Rabbids game, that new Mario Rabbids game, where it's kind of like you have this little arena and it's all tile based and you're fighting within the arena. I kind of get that feel from this.
Okay. That's
But
how I took it.
yeah, it's hard to say. I feel like the whole road trip thing will be like just an in between, like, map, like a way to drive through the story.
Yeah.
It's like you'll have all these collection of these little tiny maps with like random encounters, and then like it'll maybe like push the plot along in the little road trip scenes. So that's my idea, at least.
Yeah, I'm not too well versed with survival games to begin with, so I don't really know how to go. But the randomly generated to me seemed to. That's why I didn't think it would have any like puzzle-ish aspects to it. I wouldn't know how you do randomly generated puzzle-ish, but
Right.
once again, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, like, I guess when I said puzzle, I mean more like a strategic thing, like cars placed in certain areas, and you just need to figure out how best to like react to your environment.
That sounds about right.
So yeah, that one looks kind of neat. I do like the art style a lot. It's like very kind of minimal looking. It kind of looks like a mobile type game just from the looks of it, but I feel like that's kind of a trend with all these indie type games. I mean, I feel like the art style is not really what they're going for. It's more of the gameplay.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of them start to look the same.
Yeah, but I mean, that's fine. A small indie game, you can't really. It's not a big AAA studio title, so
Yep.
give it a pass. But yeah, that comes out this fall. Next game that was kind of on the list was My Friend Pedro. This game, like, I didn't.
This game looks dumb. This game looks so stupid.
You heard it here first.
Like, what is with the banana? It didn't even look like it had a major part in the gameplay when I was
That
watching
part
it.
I didn't understand. Like, that's how they announced. That's how like they first showed the title. They're like, this guy whose best friend is a banana. I was like, okay.
And like, we were listening to some other podcast or show or whatever, and this guy was like, I'm so excited about this banana thing. It's so cool and like funny. And I'm like, what? Like, it doesn't even have a part in the gameplay. Like, I don't even see it in the plane at all. And I don't. It's stupid. It's a weird gimmick, and I don't understand it.
You guys obviously have no sense of humor because LOL is so random. It's the best type of humor.
Yes.
I'll agree. This game seems to be fulfilling someone wanting a shooter on Switch and doing it dumbly.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I feel like it's just not for me. Like, it's like you're going around, like, just shooting. You're going through times where you're, like, in slow-mo. You guys, like, holding two pistols, like, backflipping and things. It's like, I don't know. It's just not, it's not for me. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people like it, but to me, I wasn't. This is probably one that I'll just
It's
not
like the
pick up.
equivalent of the Avengers movies. Lots of action for no reason, and then
you're doing too hot of a take right
and then
now. We're losing every subscriber we ever
hilarious
got.
gimmick. I don't care. I don't like it.
Actually, one of the things I thought of when I first saw this was that old internet game called Quap, where it was you trying to run, but the controls are just so janky that it's literally impossible to do well.
I actually thought of like a Flash, like this would be like a thing on like addictinggames.com. Like it kind of has that same look to me as like, have you ever heard of that Trials game?
No.
You're on like the dirt bike. It's like a 2D game. You're just trying to like balance on things.
Okay, actually, yeah.
It kind of looked like that. I don't know why, but it looked like that if you mix that with like a addicting games Flash game.
Well, yeah, I can see that.
Who knows? Any more you want to say on that one? My friend Pedro, Banana?
No.
I want to know more about the banana, but I'm going to pass.
Yeah, it'll play a role. It'll be the final boss. Next up, we had a game called Neocab. This was a really weird one. It's like you are a cab driver in a futuristic setting. You are the last human cab driver, and there's like these like overlords basically that are like after you, and you just like pick up all these people. It's like it seems very story driven, not a lot of like, I don't know really what you are going to be able to do in this game is kind of
You're
my
gonna
problem.
drive a car. That's what you're gonna do.
Does it ever show you actually driving? I think it only showed you like talking to people.
Well, it's like, I guess it does show you driving, but it's like if someone was laying on the front of your car and like from that perspective, like shooting the camera in through your windshield.
Right. I think this is not my type of game at all, even though I normally like story-driven things. I need more action than what was shown here.
Like, to me, it's like, it almost reminds me of like one of those mobile like dating sims.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
it's
does.
Like you talk to all these people and you have all these different like communication options, and then like the story evolves from there. But it's like I don't. Oh, and I guess the part of the story that I forgot to mention is like I guess you're looking for your friend. Your friend has gone missing or something, so I guess you're a cab driver because you're hoping that you'll pick them up. I don't really know.
Seems really random. I'd still play it though. I don't know. It's not a weird gimmicky banana, so I'll take it. But also, I'm getting really tired of these things where it's like technology is scary and it's gonna take you out if you're not careful. Stupid.
This is the Black Mirror taxi cab.
I'm over it. Black Mirror can do it, no one else.
Has technology gone too far?
No.
Will self-driving cars be our downfall?
No. they're gonna help us.
Brock, you gonna buy this game first day it comes out?
No, it's not. I can answer for him.
Okay.
I should
No.
eShop and see if it wanted to drop itself to 1 cent to get to the top of the
the charts.
cards. Yeah, and if so, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, probably not for me. Comes out this summer. If you like talking to people in your taxi cab ride, this might be for you.
If you're an Uber driver.
Yeah, if you're
and
Uber
you wanna,
or a Lyft driver,
and if you want to pretend to be an Uber driver at home, this is your game.
If you're an Uber or a Lyft driver, you could play this in your Uber or Lyft because the Switch is mobile.
Don't switch and drive, Blake. Come on.
While you're waiting, stopped, parked, seatbelt on for your customer to come out.
And then you just give it to your customer to play for you.
Yeah, it'll give you a nice tip.
It's foolproof. Come on, Brock.
Yeah.
Next up, the Red Lantern.
This game looks cool.
This game I was excited about.
This game, anything with dogs, honestly.
Why don't you explain it then?
Okay. So basically, it's like this chick, and she starts off like this dialogue with like, I'm a failure or disappointment or something. So I'm going to be something better that everyone's going to remember. And I'm going to, yeah, true. And I'm going to race in the Iditarod dog racing competition. So she gets some dogs. She goes and does the Iditarod, but, oh wait, a bear is attacking her and is going to eat her dogs. And basically the whole point is like you're trying to get through the Iditarod without like dying, I guess, and like taking care of yourself and your dogs. I think it looks cool. I think it's an interesting take on a survival type game. And I like dogs, so I'll play it.
Sold.
I actually hate dogs and still think this looks cool. So
if you thought I was driving away the fan base, Brock just drove away the rest of them.
We hate Avengers and we hate dogs.
What else is new?
But yeah, I guess I'm not sure I really got a good concept of what gameplay during this.
That's what I didn't really know.
But at the same time, what I did see looked super relaxing, like something I just want to,
Getting attacked by a bear looks relaxing?
Oh, yeah.
You tell him, Babe Poe. You tell him.
It just seemed like something I'd want to play as I was falling asleep and
then get jolted awake.
The bear didn't even look that dangerous.
Oh, okay.
I just want to sweat through pasta, so that's it.
I rewatched the Nindy thing, and it was like saying that you can use the motion controls to like
look at the sky,
like for movement and like holding on to the sled and like looking around. So that will be kind of cool with your Joy-Cons.
Relaxing.
Rude.
I was going crazy. Too much dog.
You look at the sky if it wasn't like, a chill game most of the time. How many games let you look at the sky specifically?
0.
Zelda
Confirmed.
does.
0 games.
Zelda lets you look at the sky.
And I have to make this comment. We kind of touched on it earlier. Since it's an indie game and it's coming out this year, it looks to me kind of like Breath of the Wild, like half of these games do. Just looks.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's like that cel-shaded style. So it's like everything, like, from now on that's ever going to be cel-shaded, it's like I'm automatically going to think, all right, Wind Waker, and then that evolved to
Skyward Sword.
Breath of the Wild, Skyward Sword. Here we're at.
Yeah, that's not an insult, though.
Right. Definitely looks good. It is coming out later this year. We don't know when yet, though.
I hope it's snowing the day it comes out.
It'll be like the heat
That
of
would
the
be
summer.
good. Well, maybe it'll be snowing in Alaska.
That's probably a safe bet. Shout out to our Alaskan viewers. You better get this game.
What up? Hey, what's up?
And tell us how real it is.
Yeah. Tell me if this is realistic.
Is
or not.
this realistic?
Send me email a screenshot of your daily life on your dog sled to Fourshade Studios at gmail.com.
Can you screenshot daily life? Are you part of Blackmere?
Well, once
if you get Google
once
Glass.
we go into the NeoCab universe,
No, we don't even have to do that. You just get Google
you can
Glass and you take a
screenshot
picture.
from your taxi cab.
Are we giving away Google Glass to our Alaskan viewer? Is that what you're telling me?
We're sponsored.
We're giving away our version of Google Glass. It's called Nintendo Glass. You just put cardboard on your face.
I made a drawing. It's Cuphead and Mugman.
You don't have to flip that. I'm going to flip it in post.
Oh. Well, let me flip it back around.
I think we should flip it in all directions for everyone.
Yeah.
Because we're inclusive. Who are those people, Devin?
Yeah, tell us a little bit about them.
Wait, I just said they're Cuphead and Mugman.
Sure.
I don't know anything about them. They're just made out of cups and mugs.
What are in the cups and mugs? Can you confirm this isn't milk?
Why milk of all things?
Well, in the Nindy thing, the guy was like, let me teach you how to pour some milk. You do it at a 45-degree angle, and then he poured it, and then Cuphead showed up.
Oh.
I think it's just mashed up brains.
I think Mugman is actually root beer.
I want to know where Glassman is. And
Amen.
And Teacup Boy.
Ooh, Teacup Boy.
Like from Beauty and the Beast. Teacup Tot. It's like a little boy.
We need the teapot.
Teapot Papa.
Teapot Papa.
The Teapot.
I think you need to send these in. Good.
We need a thermos.
Glass guy.
We need a thermos.
Thermos.
Thought.
Thick boy.
Nah.
Why don't you draw us, but in as cup people?
You're asking a tall order right now.
Yeah, a tall glass of water. Okay, next we got a game called Darkwood. It's like a top-down survival horde looking game. During the day, you're kind of exploring. Looks like you're like stocking up, like doing upgrades and things. And at night, you're just trying to survive. Like, looks like zombie type things come out, monsters come out. You're just trying to get basically to the next day.
I don't care about this game.
The look of it, I don't know how you can. Okay, you from what I saw, you're using a flashlight at night. That's kind of like illuminating the ray of your flashlight beam, but you can still see the rest of the environment. It's just like a gray shade. What I wish, or maybe, who knows, maybe I'm just kind of reading into this wrong. I wish the rest of the environment was like black or something.
I actually think it basically is. My interpretation of that is it'll be kind of like the only game I know how to. The only kind of like StarCraft. Like when you're looking in a direction, that part updates, and then when you look away, it stays black and white, and it's the last thing you saw. That's what I got out of this.
Okay, yeah. I mean, if that's the case, that'd be cool. Like if monsters are like running up to you in the gray area, they're not going to be shown until you shine your light on them or something.
That's what I think. Yeah.
Okay, that'd be super cool if that's not how this plays.
Because
I hope it's how
it seems dumb to have the whole screen there if you have a flashlight.
Right, not a flash drive. I hope. Well, I don't know though, because like if you have to look at where you just looked to see what's coming, I feel like there will just be like a lot of running in circles. But who knows?
No one knows. It's not released yet because it's available in May. But yeah, once again, I'm not a survival game type person, so the only thing that looked interesting to me was the fact that it was completely top down, which I actually found as kind of jarring and disorienting.
What else do you got? Yeah, and I think they like made it seem like it was like in like Russia or something, Soviet Russia. They said something like that I initiated with Russia, but we'll see. Next game is called Katana Zero. This game actually looks pretty cool. You are kind of like this ninja guy with a katana. You have the ability to like slow down time and like have like future sight. You can kind of see a little bit into the future, and you kill everything in one hit, and you can die in one hit. So I'm not sure if that's how it works for like bosses, but I think all the minor enemies, or if there are even bosses in this game, I'm not sure. But yeah, you die in one hit, or all of your enemies die in one hit, which is kind of a cool take on a fighting game.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. It looked very fast paced, and when you died, like everything just starts right back up. You go right again, and
you just like rewind the level, see where you went wrong or did well.
And I actually really enjoyed the pixel art on this. Like it's one of your standard indie pixely graphics, but good. Everything is colorful and it was very detailed and really drew me in.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was kind of strange that like you meet with like the therapist in between levels, and like that's how you get like they said like your medicine, which I suppose that's like what gives you your powers. That's what I'm assuming.
I got where
or it's controlling you to be an assassin.
Yeah, maybe it's a story thing, but when they said that, I was like, "Why are you telling me this? What?"
Yeah, it seems very like out of left field. It was just like, and you speak with your therapist. We're going to promote mental health.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was just normalizing therapists.
I didn't really understand it, but I was like, okay, that's like what I pictured. Like it's like just a plot thing. Like it's gonna push the story along or something.
Yeah, but the gameplay itself still looked cool, and that didn't look like the big main part of the game. I don't think.
Yeah, it seems like a very minor, just like a breather from all this action. So yeah, that is coming out also April 18th, same day as Cuphead. We've got about 2.5 weeks from recording until that. The game that's coming out this summer is a game called Rad. This game was very strange to me. It's like you're going through this apocalyptic world. Everywhere you walk is like making flowers bloom and like grass grow. And it's like you're beating up all these things and you get different superpowers, like mutations, basically. Like one of them I saw was like your head turns into a snake and you can like bite things from a distance, or like one of them was like you're having eggs come out of you and like little spiders with your head on them were crawling behind you. It's just like these weird mutations. I don't even know what this game will be like past that.
Yeah, I can't even comment on the gameplay because all the shots they showed were just so weird, and
it
didn't really get a sense of what you're actually doing, I guess. Like you saw little snippets of killing things and like you said, making things grow, but I don't know what the point was.
Yeah. And at like the end of the trailer, you were like going into like this big looking facility thing, and it was like oh, now that you've shown us you're the one or something. So who knows? Maybe there's more to see. Who knows?
The developers seem pretty confident in it, though. They
Yeah,
got
I mean, like, they're pretty. I was looking into their other games, and they're like they make just like kind of humorous games, I guess. I don't know what you'd call them. They have all of them kind of have a sense of humor to them. So
Okay. Yeah, I didn't really get this from the trailer itself, so that's
yeah,
another twist that
right.
can't anymore.
Next up was Creature in the Well. It's coming this summer. This one was actually kind of interesting to me. I don't know how long I would be able to play with its kind of gimmick or gameplay, but it's like they refer to it as an action pinball game. Your character is basically hitting the pinball balls, which are like these balls of energy, trying to like power up things within like this like facility.
That's
I don't
about
know. It's strange.
Yeah, kudos to them for making something that I've literally never seen before.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't know how engaging this would really be for an entire game because, as you said, it looks like you don't directly do anything. You just hit the balls. And,
Right.
moving around and hitting balls is not that fun.
I don't know how, like, to me, I guess what will kind of be make or break with this is how accurate you are when you hit the direction that the ball travels. Because if it's just you in a room just like hitting these balls and they're ricocheting everywhere for like 10 minutes when you're trying to hit one certain spot, that will obviously get frustrating to a lot of people, but I'm not sure. The whole plot of it sounded like there's some sort of like monster that's manipulating the weather, turning it into like an eternal desert, and you're going into this facility and trying to power up a weather machine or something to.
I mean, I think plot-wise it sounds kind of interesting, this like eternal desert or whatever, but yeah, I don't know.
I like the art style a lot. It's like it looks like a comic book to me, which I really like. But yeah, I'll have to definitely. I'm interested in this game for sure. Like this might be one that I pick up just because it's so different.
I hope there's a demo because, like you said, I think the little things like the physics are going to make or break this, make it fun or make it not fun.
Yeah. From some of the screenshots I saw, like there's like a little arrow that is in front of your character, so maybe is kind of like an indicator of the direction that you're hitting things. So maybe if that's so, that will be huge.
Maybe too easy too. I'm sure they figured something out. They've made a whole game based around this mechanic.
Yeah, I feel like they had to definitely test it, definitely know it's gonna work well. Any more you want to say on this one?
Pinball was fun. I hope this is too.
I agree. Next up was a game called Bloodroots. This one, it's a guy in a wolf hat going around and killing people, from what I saw. Basically, everything in your environment is like a weapon, is what I gathered from this.
I didn't even gather that. All I just saw was really fast combat that looked like it was mashing A.
Right.
I didn't see anything that looked unique or interesting, so I didn't look into this game anymore.
Right.
I guess I did get the sense that it wasn't just going through levels and killing things. Like there were towns and stuff that you might walk through and stuff in, but past that, I don't really know what to expect out of this.
From what I saw and what I was reading, in the Nindies Showcase, they actually, and in like where they're showing off the games recently, the build they're using, like they turned off blood.
Good.
But from screenshots that I saw online, it's very bloody. So that's kind of strange that they're like advertising it in such a way.
It seems like something that Nintendo would make them do, even though I thought Nintendo stopped making people do that. But
Yeah.
it doesn't go with the art style. It looks kind of cute.
Yeah. Well, it's like a game that's called Blood Roots. You'd expect, obviously, blood.
Oh, it's not what Mr. Wolf Guy kills things.
Yeah, no. Sadly enough. But another thing about this game that I was reading up on is every time you die, these white flowers appear under where your death occurred. So if you die in like a place 100 times, like in a boss fight, the whole ground will just be white flowers. And apparently in real life, there is a flower called the bloodroot, which is a white flower that's supposed to mimic, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, no reason to buy the game, but cool.
Right. Just a nice little detail.
I finished another drawing.
What do we got?
It's everyone as a cup-ish thing.
So what is everybody?
Blake, you're a cup, but with one of those fancy like modern handles where like the little teacup handle is a square with like a round
Fancy.
inside. I also gave you a little chip in your mouth where you got your lip bust open.
Okay.
You should turn this around because I need to be able to see this.
Okay, here's for Brock. So here's Blake. You're a tea kettle and you're steaming. I don't know why.
I'm insulted. Thank you. I hate
I'm a mug of some kind, like a root beer glass, I guess. I don't know. I wanted to give myself hair of some kind, so like made a little swishing liquid and like a little swirly handle. And pose like a sugar bowl because he's square.
the sugar bowl.
And these are like
The sugar bowl, VFD confirmed.
his little ears.
Okay, that one is legit perfect.
So that's what I got.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
Frame that. That's pretty good.
I'll send it to you.
Colorize.
I'm still waiting for the last one.
Oh, the Frog Burgerson one?
Nope, not that one.
Which one?
Bring that up every episode.
Frog Burgerson. Wait,
So-
which one are you talking about?
Did you say things?
Yeah, which one are you talking about?
Yes, that one.
The Frog Burgerson one.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry, let's keep moving.
So, not talking about that. The next game is called Pine.
What?
They described it as an open world action adventure game with 5 different biomes and some sort of crafting mechanic and some sort of trading mechanic and some fighting. And all I got out is that this is bad Breath of the Wild. So, yeah.
That's kind of what I felt too. Like, the art style looked like a mobile game to me.
Clash of Clans.
Yeah, like, there's something about, like, the way it looked, it just didn't look right. Like, it looked like clay models or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, the way they advertised it, it seemed like they were reaching so much. It was like, there are 5 different biomes and races. I was like, honestly, that doesn't seem like that much.
No. Just get a WoW subscription.
But yeah, it just seemed like Breath of the Wild. It was like, okay, we got crafting, we've got combat, we've got like big open world exploration with different races. So I don't know. I was like, I'd rather just hop into Zelda.
Yeah, and the thing that sealed it for me is they did show some videos of some fights, and the characters seems to move like super slow and
Yeah.
I don't know, super
Just clunky kind of.
So that's complete opposite of Breath of the Wild, where Link can run around enemies as much as he wants because he's versatile and fast. And
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that comes out in August. So I don't know. If you want to get Breath of the Wild and then get that, sure.
Or just get Breath of the Wild. It's better and worth the money.
The next couple games that they talked about was like in such quick succession that I feel like you barely got to see any of it. They talked about Super Crate Box for probably like all of 10 seconds, I felt like.
Let's spend a minute on each of these games.
Give it a little bit more love than the actual Direct did.
Yeah. Go. Super Crate Box. What do you think of it?
I don't even know if I can. There's not even that much here. It's coming out in April.
April, okay.
It's like to me it looks like a battle game. It's like a multiplayer battle game. There's like platforms and it's like you're trying to
I wonder if it's like Killer Queen or something. I don't even know.
I wouldn't go that far at all. But it looks like you're just trying to kill other people. Like an arena type game.
I literally watched the Nindies Direct before this, and I don't remember seeing this. So that's how much they talked about this.
Yeah. I had to add this one into our notes because I think you forgot it or didn't see it.
So yeah.
Yeah. Don't know much to say about that one.
Cool.
Next one is called I can't even talk right now. Nuclear Throne.
I don't even know what this.
I almost thought these two games were combined. I thought this was like the same thing as the Super Crate Box for a second when they were talking about in the Direct, but it's like super pixel based art style. It's like a co-op adventure. It actually came out the same day as the Direct, which is kind of neat. It just kind of like a bullet hell game. It's like there's so much going on the screen that it's like one of those games where you can't even like comprehend what's happening. But it looked good. I thought it looked cool.
Yeah, like I said earlier, co-op games don't have to be that big to be fun, and this looked fun co-op setting and different. You don't have many top-down co-op games. It remind me of like Four Swords or something. I don't know why.
Yeah, I know. So there was that, and then the next one was kind of weird. They announced this thing called Vlambeer Arcade that's coming out later this year, but I guess one of the games that's going to be within this, I guess, arcade bundle is called Ultra Bugs. It's just kind of like this alien shooter type game. But there's going to be games that they add to this throughout time, which is kind of interesting. So it's like if you buy it now, you'll have this one Ultra Bugs game, but as time goes on, more will get added to this collection, which is kind of a strange model to me.
To me, it just reeks of like, we want to get this game out in its alpha state, so we're going to sell it to people so we get more money to make it not terrible.
Yeah, like it was very strange the way they were like selling this. It's like, hey, we'll give you like a third of the game, but more's coming. It's like, okay, that's just weird.
I guess if you really like this type of shooter where you're a ship killing aliens, then that's fun. But at the same time, is it a full game? Probably not.
Right. Well, in the way that they were kind of advertising it too, they said like I don't know the exact wording, but they said like micro games or something, or like bite-sized little episodes of games, which I was like, that makes me think of like a WarioWare type thing. Like you're playing a game for 5 seconds.
Well, I think they said this Ultra Bugs was score based, right? I don't think there are
Yeah.
levels. It's just beat your high score, which worked in 1980 with Galaga, but
Right. Yeah, it's very like reminiscent of games like that. It's just fly around a ship, kill alien bugs, get a high score. Like nothing we haven't seen before, I feel like.
yeah,
I feel like to really be successful, it's like an indie game, it's got to be something fresh.
yeah, definitely. Or a fresh take on a genre we've seen before, but this is neat.
Right. So, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they'll add more games that are actually, I don't know, innovative. Next.
Like Insanity.
Right. Why don't you talk about this one?
Uh, this looked like a co-op adventure game that took place underwater. So it looked like it was meant to be played co-op, like a Castle Crashers or something like that, where you're all working together to get through these levels. And yeah, the twist, I guess, was that it's underwater, but it didn't really look like that changed anything other than you're swimming.
Yeah.
Bullets flying everywhere, or not bullets, but something. I'm not really sure.
Lasers.
Looks like you're going through levels with your friends, and that's about it. I wasn't that impressed with this.
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't either. I just wasn't a big fan of the art style, and again, it's just not doing anything new, so not much there for me.
Yeah, and plus it's called Swim Sanity, and they advertised it in a very weird, like childish type way. I didn't know what
That's
they're.
what I thought too.
The one thing I took from their trailer was that it had voice chat, which means that someone has made voice chat work on Switch, and it's an indie developer, so maybe others can do it.
Yeah, that's wishful thinking, but
Yeah,
it at least shows that it's possible.
it's possible, right? So not getting Swim Sanity, but it comes out this summer if you want to get it.
Yeah, if you want to go swam at the pool with your Switch. What do we got next?
Oh, I think they've started talking about games for more than a minute after this. So
They did, which that whole like little break in the middle was so weird.
yeah. Next was Blaster Master Zero 2, which was probably named by Nintendo themselves because that's terrible. But it's, I guess, a sequel to the classic Blaster Master, but with some new mechanics and whatnot. But essentially, Blaster Master, you're a little ship with a turret on top that can shoot in 180 degrees, and you go through levels and blow things up. You have like different types of missiles and whatnot on your ship.
Right. You can get out sometimes. You can be a little guy.
Yeah, I forgot about those parts. When I play the arcade game, I never get that far. That's why.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy Blaster Master. And this actually did look like it added enough things that it would be cool to anyone who did enjoy the original.
That's what I thought. I thought it was cool that they like were remaking the original in such like a true to form way. Like this was, it felt like a true like. I don't know if there's a Blaster Master Zero just by itself, and then this is like the sequel to that. But regardless, it looks very true to the original, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much all there is to be said by that.
Yep.
Like the original, you'd probably like this. I'll probably look and see how much it is. But yeah. Now you have to talk about Stranger Things because I know nothing about Stranger Things.
Have you watched the show at all?
I know nothing. Literally nothing.
Nothing.
I know the logo is red and it has children in it.
That is true. Probably the best child actors I've ever seen. But those aren't in this game.
We have renditions of them.
Unfortunately. I don't know. It just looks like it's trying to be like super 80s game. I don't know. I'm more interested in the season 3 premiere coming out on the same day than the game itself, personally.
I thought it was kind of weird how it's coming out the same day as the premiere, and like the way they advertised it was like, clear off your entire weekend. You're going to be playing this game and watching the show.
See, what they're telling you is the show is so terrible they had to put out this game so you wouldn't watch the show.
Well, it's like the thing. It's like I almost want to watch the entire show first and then play it. But at the same time, it's like if I watch this show, I'm probably going to know exactly how the game turns out.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just all the plot points are just going to be mirrored. I would be surprised if like one of them had extra information that the other didn't, like world building stuff or lore or something.
You'd think since they come out the same day, they wouldn't be that dumb, but who knows?
Well, and that it's like, I think it is a Switch exclusive too. So I feel like if they put too much into the game, then they're gonna have an entire like all of their audience is gonna be alienated from this story that they're trying to build. So who knows?
Yeah, not knowing anything about Stranger Things, it was jarring to me to see a game of this style where it's the isometric view, but it's kind of an adventure game.
Right.
I haven't played a game like this since I was going through like classic SNES games. It reminded me of the Jurassic Park game on SNES. So,
like to me, it feels just kind of like a beat 'em up game. It's like how like the Simpsons game is. Like you're just going around like beating up all these FBI agent people that are I don't know.
right.
But yeah, in an isometric view, I feel like part of me, I feel like it doesn't look like 80s enough that they're trying, like the whole show is like so like, they're trying to emphasize so much that like this time period, but I feel like the art style that they use doesn't reflect that in the game.
Okay. We can see that.
But that's just a tiny gripe. I don't know how good this game will be, but
It doesn't matter because no one has any expectations for it.
right. Sure. And when does that come out? That comes out, oh yeah, July 4th, the same as the show.
Oh yeah, I remember the show preview had like fireworks in it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Then at the very end of the showcase, they did kind of this really strange one. Cadence of Hyrule, Crypt of the Necrodancer featuring The Legend of Zelda. The longest title in the entire world.
Just for that title alone, I'm not interested.
I thought it looked cool. I haven't played Crypt of the Necrodancer. I know that's a game that was out before this. But apparently your movements are based off the music that's playing in the game. You can only move when there's like a beat.
Okay.
And enemies also move on beats, and they follow like specific patterns. And like during fights, the music will cue attacks and things. So it's like this very unique mechanic, which I think is very interesting. And especially if they're going to tie it in with Zelda, I feel like that's going to make it even cooler.
I don't know if I'm an idiot, but I didn't get any of that
I
from.
feel like it was very hard to pick that up from the trailer. But if you go back and watch it, listen to the music, the way they move isn't smooth. It's like you're hopping almost.
Huh.
That's because you have to move on the beat.
Well, not knowing that and just looking at what they showed in the trailer, I actually was pretty interested in this because it looked very true to Zelda. Like,
Right.
looked like a 2D Zelda game and completely. But adding in what you just described, and now I'm very interested in this.
Right.
So
apparently the original you could actually play with like a DDR dance pad as for like movement or something. So that's kind of interesting.
I wonder if my Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix pad work with the Smash Brothers.
Ooh, the adapter, yeah.
Yes.
Maybe. I don't know. That's that might be something we have to try.
Yeah. So I need to look more up about this, but based on what I saw, I'm pretty.
Can't hear it. There's now.
Ooh, there it is.
We got poor connection again.
So,
I
yeah.
didn't hear the last part of what you said.
Nothing.
What?
I guess you're doing some editing. Where were we?
What? I couldn't hear you with the last thing you said.
I guess you're doing some editing.
No, before that, when we were actually talking.
I have no idea. I'm looking forward to this.
I'm too. I will probably get this game.
I think this will just be a game that I watch. I think moving in time to music just sounds annoying to me, so I will watch him play it.
That's the one thing I don't know if having to move to the beat will slow me down and make it feel like more restricting or what.
If they made a full game with this mechanic, and then Nintendo saw this and thought we should have Zelda in this or Link in this game, I trust that it was done well and will work well.
I feel like they wouldn't hedge their bets, like putting one of their IPs in something that wouldn't work well.
Right. Because it doesn't happen very often.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, this is so strange that because they hold on their IPs so like closely, like they never. I feel like even experiment that much. I feel like the most they've experimented with like Zelda has been like Hyrule Warriors, which is like a Dynasty Warriors type thing.
Exactly.
But I don't know. It's at least kind of refreshing that it shows that they're willing to like incorporate their IPs into other type of games.
It's changing for the better.
Yeah. So that's going to come out spring 2019. No solid release date, but just kind of a general one. So yeah, that was the entirety of the Nindies Spring 2019 Showcase. I mean, overall, I thought it was pretty solid. I feel like that's the most talk about indies that they've ever done within one sitting.
Yeah, I would hope that becomes a twice a year thing, a quarterly thing, instead of us having to slog through the eShop, which is kind of terrible for looking for games that you might want. Like giving me presented is really nice.
Yeah. I like hope, if at the very least, I hope they do this like every spring.
Yeah, would make sense too.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have known about half of these had I not watched it.
Right. Same. One random thing, I hated the hosts in the showcase.
I'm so glad you said
Can we
this.
talk about that?
They were the most weird adults trying to be cool or something.
It was so just weird. I like hated it.
And Reggie wouldn't have been the one to present this had he not been leaving. But at the same time, I felt like I wish Reggie was presenting this.
That's exactly what I was like thinking. I was like, usually they have like Bill Trinan or like Reggie or someone do this. Like it was like, who are these people? I don't know who these people are.
Even
like everything that they said, you could tell was so just like grossly scripted. I was just like, ugh, this is so cringy.
my favorite one was before Pine, I think. I don't know. Before one of the games, the guy says something like, I'm going to make a joke. And the girl's like, no, you should leave that to developers.
That was before Rad. That was before Rad.
Yeah.
That whole thing was so. Ugh. Well, then there was that one part where like the guy was like upside down, and she was like, "Why are you upside down?" And it's like, I don't know. Someone must have rotated the camera. I was like, stop, please. You're hurting me.
They really need to scrap the hosts and just show us the freaking trailers, and that's about it. Or
I think I'm gonna try to edit something together from the hosts of that.
Do it.
Because I feel like there's enough there that I could just take. I don't know. I might have to get more like stuff from Nintendo trailers, but I feel like I could piece something together.
Make them the hosts of the podcast. We can overdub them.
I could probably do that. I'm gonna put their face and then like cut out a little hole and then I'll just do our mouth.
But like paste the mouths, our mouths and our eyes like a little too big over the face.
Yes.
Yeah, I hope I never see them again.
I feel like if you look close, I feel like I haven't looked at this at all on the internet, but I feel like there's definitely somewhere where people are definitely hating on them.
It's right here. Happening right now.
Yeah, it's right here. We just started.
We marched to their headquarters with torches.
Yes.
With
their faces on our shirts, like with X's through their eyes.
I like it. I'm sure they're great people, though.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure I love them. Anything to make $1. So yeah, I think that's gonna do it for us. Spring and summer is indie season. Better yet, Nindy season.
Until Nintendo takes over at E3.
Yeah, until they become a autonomous cab driving society. Total domination.
Next time, I hope we get to rant about Cuphead.
We should be able to. Hopefully. Yeah, we'll see. So that's gonna be it. Again, you can reach us at all things Fourshade. Fourshade is FOURSHADE. You can check out our podcast on iTunes, Spotify. And yeah, if you want to send in something via email, the email is fourshade.studios@gmail.com. Send us your questions, your comments. We'll read them. Maybe we'll answer them if there's a question. That's going to do it. See ya.